These aren't just yachts, they're billion-dollar empires floating on water, wrapped in gold, hiding submarines, laser shields, and even dinosaur bones. Welcome to a world where your weekend toy costs more than an airport. These are the most insane mega yachts ever built. When it comes to flexing wealth, jets and mansions are cool, but nothing screams I rule the world like a mega yacht. This is among the biggest sales in the luxury marine industry. Luxury super yachts are more than just symbols of wealth. They are floating empires of their own. Ranging from 79 to over 500 feet, ultra-large yachts with full-time crews maintain a five-star tourist ambiance. The demand for big yachts has become huge since 2020, so booking a construction slot in any leading shipyard in the world is hardly possible. In the words of Sam Tucker, chief super yacht researcher at Vessels Value, the market is roaring. Demand for extravagantly high-end yachts has outstripped supply, and that demand is not going to retreat anytime soon. Why this rush? The ultra-rich want yachts customized to their whims and fancies custom bars, dance floors, submarines, or private IMAX theaters. The emphasis is less on travel and more on legacy, the unmistakable uniqueness of something that loudly screams power and privacy on international waters. So welcome aboard the Billionaires Playground. Let's dive into the top 5, starting with Dubai, a $400 million beast that looks more like a floating royal palace than a boat. This ship began construction back in 1995 by Blohm plus Voss and Lursen for Prince Jeffrey of Brunei. But when the prince backed out, Dubai's ruler, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, stepped in and completed the project by 2001. At a staggering 530 feet long with a 72-foot beam, Dubai was the largest yacht in the world from 2006 to 2009. It has 8 opulent decks designed for 115 guests and 88 crew members, almost a small cruise ship. Inside, you'll find a 10-meter swimming pool, a private cinema, a squash court, 20 water bikes, a lobster tank, and even a full-on disco. And yes, there's a pristine dining room that can seat 90 people at once. But this isn't just about luxury, it's a machine. Powered by 4 MTU 20V diesel engines, it reaches speeds of 26 knots and can cruise 8,500 nautical miles nonstop. That's power and prestige, bottled into one incredible vessel. Next on the list is MYA Plus, formerly known as Topaz, a $527 million masterpiece owned by none other than Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan. If that name rings a bell, it's because he also owns Manchester City Football Club. And just like his football empire, this yacht is all about domination on water. Spanning 482 feet with a 70-foot beam, a Plus is a floating marvel. Launched in 2012, this sleek vessel is powered by 2 monstrous peel stick engines, each churning out 7,990 horsepower. That's enough to push this luxury beast over 25 knots across the ocean with elegance and ease. But speed isn't what turns heads, it's the experience on board. A Plus has 8 decadent decks, a sprawling swimming pool, 2 helipads, an oversized jacuzzi, underwater lights that glow in the deep, a full cinema, and even a plush conference room for those boardroom meetings at sea. The interiors? Think regal suites and world-class service that rivals any luxury hotel. This isn't just a yacht, it's Sheikh Mansour's private island that moves. So we really should chat about the king of size, Azzam. Valued at $605 million, the super yacht is under the ownership of Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the late president of the UAE and the half-brother of Sheikh Mansour. He also acts as the president of the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, with nearly $900 billion in assets under management. Thus, it follows that the owner of the largest sovereign wealth fund should have in his possession the largest private yacht on this earth. Something about 590 feet long, with a 59-foot beam, few yachts can compete in sheer size against Azzam. At the same time, speed runs high at an unthinkable 32 knots for something so big, powered by a hybrid propulsion system combining gas turbines and diesel engines for a whopping 47,000 horsepower. But this isn't just about specs, it's about style and purpose. Designed by Cristofoglione and built by Lursen in just 3 years, Azzam includes 50 luxurious guest rooms, a helipad, a master suite fit for royalty, and high-level security systems that remain undisclosed to the public. Azzam means resolute in Arabic, and that's exactly what it is, a monument to wealth, determination, and the ambition to build what no one else dares. Next into second place comes the famous Eclipse, a floating fortress worth $1.5 billion owned by billionaire Russian and Israeli Roman Abramovich, ex-owner of Chelsea Football Club. Built by the German shipyard Blohm plus Voss in 2010, this 533-foot super yacht held the title of world's longest until Azzam snatched it away in 2013. What makes Eclipse stand out isn't just size, it's secrecy and security. Beneath its sleek, minimalist exterior is an arsenal of cutting-edge tech. It has a missile detection system and a private submarine that can dive up to 50 meters below sea level. But here's the wildest part. It comes equipped with an anti-paparazzi laser system. The yacht's sensors detect digital cameras and fire-infrared beams that overexpose and ruin any attempted photographs. It tells paparazzi to stay in their lane without saying a word. Powered by diesel engines pumping out 40,000 horsepower, Eclipse cruises at 22 knots. Inside, it's no less extravagant. 24 lavish guest cabins, 2 helipads, oversized pools, several hot tubs, a nightclub, and even a disco hall for late-night parties at sea. It's no coincidence that Abramovich and Sheikh Mansour, owners of Chelsea and Manchester City, aren't just rivals on the football pitch. They've extended their friendly billionaire rivalry into the ocean. While Mansour cruises on A+, Abramovich stays protected and pampered aboard Eclipse. This yacht isn't just transportation, it's a statement of power wrapped in stealth. At number 1, we have History Supreme, a name that fits this $4.8 billion yacht perfectly. It's not the biggest nor the fastest, but it's by far the most expensive. And why? Because it's practically made of treasure. Designed by UK luxury designer Stuart Hughes in 2011, History Supreme is rumored to be owned by Malaysian billionaire Robert Kuok, one of the richest men in Southeast Asia. Unlike the other yachts on this list, History Supreme doesn't flex with size. It flexes with substance. The yacht is covered in over 100,000 kilograms of gold and platinum. The base, the deck, the dining area, the rails, almost every visible surface is coated in precious metals. It's blinding in the sunlight. But that's not even the weirdest part. Inside the master suite, you'll find a wall made from meteorite stone. Yes, actual rock from space. And sitting on that wall, a sculpture made from genuine T-Rex dinosaur bones, valued at $89,000. This is the kind of thing you'd expect in a museum, not floating across the ocean. At just 100 feet long, History Supreme is barely a fraction of the size of Azzam or Eclipse. But it doesn't need to be bigger. Its outrageous use of rare materials sends a different kind of message, one of extreme unapologetic opulence. History Supreme isn't about utility or exploration. It's about making sure the world knows. You don't just own a yacht, you own the most extravagant piece of floating art in existence. It's easy to roll your eyes at billion-dollar yachts. But behind every extravagant vessel is a wave of economic opportunity. Peter Lursen, CEO of Lursen Yachts, the company behind titans like Azzam, revealed that building the yacht alone required 6 million man-hours. That's enough work to support over 4,000 families. It doesn't even stop at construction. Yachts require constant maintenance. Top-notch chefs and interior designers are needed, so are cleaners, engineers, pilots, and hospitality staff. Custom furniture raised a demand for the finest technology and materials from a marine-grade luxury standard. So while mega yachts certainly symbolize wastefulness, they are also models for innovation and employment. There are thousands of livelihoods dependent on this very high-end market, from Germany's shipyards to Dubai's marinas. In other words, while the wealthy enjoy their cruise along the shore, and stern, others prosper on it. While there is a pattern to the ownership of the world's most luxurious mega yachts, it is of a royal nature. Emirati royalty occupy the very top tier, with vessels valued in the hundreds of millions, held by the likes of Sheikh Mansour, Sheikh Khalifa, and Sheikh Mohammed. But they aren't alone. Russian billionaire Roman Abramovich made his mark with Eclipse, and Malaysian tycoon Robert Kuok quietly claimed the crown with History Supreme. The competition isn't just about owning a yacht, it's about outshining the rest. Some show off with football clubs, private jets, or sprawling mansions. But yachts are where the real elite draw their lines in the sand. And it's not just about size, it's about features, materials, and the ability to say, mine does what yours can't. In a world of billionaires, yacht building has become the ultimate game of one-upmanship, and no one's backing down. Let's take a moment to appreciate just how wild these mega really are. Dubai comes with a lobster tank and disco hall. Eclipse has a laser system that blinds paparazzi and a personal submarine. Azzam moves faster than some naval destroyers and has a helipad on the bow. Then there's History Supreme, wrapped in actual gold and platinum, housing a wall made from meteorite stone and a sculpture crafted from real dinosaur bones. If you thought your custom car was cool, imagine soaking in a gold-plated tub while your yacht glows with underwater lights. We've seen multiple helipads, missile detection systems, conference rooms, squash courts, IMAX-style cinemas, and onboard spas. These aren't boats. They're floating palaces, luxury resorts, and high-tech fortresses all rolled into one. Each one pushes the boundaries of what a yacht can be. And for the ultra-rich, too much just doesn't exist. Mega yachts may look like floating vanity projects, but they fuel entire industries, from shipyards to luxury chefs. Which one blew your mind the most? If you had $10 billion, would you sail the seas or spend it somewhere else? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.